Alright, what's up guys? This is going to be a very exciting video for me. Probably not the most exciting in this series, but I'm super excited about it because it's going to mark the first in my series on my, basically everything to do with my training. So, what I'm doing in the gym, my nutrition, everything like that. So this is basically just going to lay out my entire scheme of programming. The program that I'm running is Johnny Candido's Linear Strength program. It's his 4-week program. He also has a 6-week program. Basically, in the linear program, there's 3 versions of it: a strength and control, a strength and power, and a strength and hypertrophy. I've decided to run the strength and hypertrophy program with a little modification to add some of the control movements, just so that I'm still reinforcing those movement patterns and getting better control over my lifts and stuff like that, while adding a little bit extra volume, because the specific days, like there's 4 training days, and the last 2 of them are specific to the program. So for hypertrophy, there are 2 hypertrophy days, 1 lower, 1 upper. For control, they'd be 2 control days, 1 lower, 1 upper. On the hypertrophy version of the program, there's more volume on your hypertrophy days, obviously, to cause more of a hypertrophic response. So I have chosen to do that just to expose myself to a little bit more volume. And I'll get more into that into the video where I go into my nutrition. Another thing that I want to say really quickly is that throughout the program, there are exercises that you get to choose. Like, for example, you get to choose everything except for a hamstring curl at one point, a calf raise at one point, your main lifts, which are your squat, your bench, and your deadlift. And that's about it. You get to choose most of the exercises in this program. And the way I've chosen my optional exercises and all my different variations is to be as specific to my major movements, which again are my squat, my bench, and my deadlift, because I am training for powerlifting. Because I really want to get better at those 3 movements, and I personally feel that the best way to get better at anything is through quality repetition. So doing as many quality reps of that same motion as often as possible. So if I can make my assistance work as specific to those movements as possible, I'll be reinforcing good ranges of motion and good just patterns of movement in those specific movements, which will help me get stronger overall, I think. And also, they're big compound lifts, which will help bring up my core. So without further ado, I'll get into what I'm actually doing for the program. So for every version of this program, it starts off with 2 heavy days, which I'm going to run exactly how he has them on Mondays and Tuesdays. So Monday is a heavy lower day, which is going to, my first movement is going to be squats for 3 sets of 6, then a deadlift for 2 sets of 6, then 2 optional exercises. Both of those are 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. For the first one, I'm going to do a stiff leg deadlift, and for the second one, I'm going to do a leg press. Then on Tuesday, I have my heavy upper day, which calls for a bench press for 3 sets of 6, then a primary upper back exercise. I've chosen a barbell row. For this, you have to choose a horizontal row, by the way. So barbell row for 3 sets of 6, then a shoulder exercise. I've chosen an OHP. I really want to do a barbell, like military OHP, because it's better. For me, I feel like it's better for my core, and I feel a lot stronger when I do that. However, I might not have time for that, and I might have to just do dumbbells, but we'll see. After that, and that's again for 1 set of 6. I don't remember if I said that or not. After that, it calls for your second upper back exercise, which is supposed to be a vertical pull for 1 set of 6 as well. I'm going to be doing lat pull downs, basically until I can get my pull-up form strong enough that I can consistently do a set of 6 after all the volume I've already done. And then it calls for 2 optional exercises for 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. And I've chosen a close grip bench press, again, to stay with the specificity with my bench, and I've also chosen a lateral dumbbell raise just to get some extra shoulder work in, because shoulders are really a weak point of mine. Alright, and then Wednesday is off. I think I'm going to insert some GPP on that day, though, some general physical preparedness, or basically conditioning, just to keep myself in better shape, and also to increase my output, which is, again, something I'll go over in my nutrition video, so make sure you watch that when it comes out. So after that, there's Thursday, which is my first hypertrophy day, and this is where my programming starts to vary. What he calls for is a front or back squat for 5 to 8 reps. What I'm going to do is, on the hypertrophy days, for the major movements, instead of doing the hypertrophy ones that he calls for in that version of the program, I'm going to do the control ones. So instead of doing 5 sets of 8 squats, I'm going to do 6 sets of 4 pause squats. So I'll be doing 6 sets of 4 pause squats, then I'll be moving on to pause deadlifts for, again, no, not 6 sets of 4, for 3 sets of 4. Sorry. Then it calls for, the program calls for a hamstring curl for 3 sets of 12, then a calf raise for 5 sets of 15, and then 2 optional exercises both for 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. What I'm going to do is before I do the hamstring curl and right after I do my pause deadlifts, I'm going to do one of my optionals, which is a deficit deadlift for 4 by 8 to 12 again. Just because there's limited equipment and limited space in my gym, so while I have a bar to deadlift, I'm just going to do my other deadlift movement. So every day that I have to deadlift more than once, I'm going to be doing my main deadlift movement and then my variation immediately after it. The hypertrophy day will basically look like pause squats, pause deads, deficit deads, hamstring curl, calf raise, and then my other optional exercise, which will again be the leg press, just like on the first day, because I like how those feel, and I really didn't like any of the other options. And finally, for Friday, the hypertrophy upper day, it calls for a chest press. Instead of the chest press, I will be doing a Spoto press, which is a pause variation of a bench press for 6 sets of 4. Basically, you'll be pausing the weight. You bring the weight down, pause 1 to 2 inches off of your chest, and for a couple of seconds, and then proceed to press the weight again instead of touching at the chest. And I really like that movement. I feel like it's been helping me build strength. Then it calls for an incline chest press. I'll be doing an incline dumbbell bench for 4 sets of 8. Then it calls for an upper back exercise, number 1, which is the same upper back exercise that you did before. So my barbell row, which is again 4 sets of 8, just like the incline dumbbell bench. Then my second upper back exercise, which is my lat pull downs for 4 sets of 8. Then it calls for a shoulder exercise, which is going to be my OHP, again for 3 sets of 10. Then it calls for a bicep exercise. I've chosen a strict dumbbell curl for 3 sets of 10. Then it calls for 2 optional exercises for 4 sets of 8 to 12. And for those, I've chosen a dumbbell bench with a neutral grip. And basically, so what that is instead of doing a dumbbell bench where you're pressing this way, it's going to be a flat dumbbell bench, by the way, because I've already done incline on this day. Instead of pressing this way, you're pressing with a neutral grip, which is pressing this way, and it just really focuses on your triceps a lot more. I tried them out. They feel really great. Johnny Candido actually recommended them for bringing up your triceps in one of his videos following his IPF Worlds meet where he talks about benching. And then finally, my last optional exercise will be face pulls because I like how they feel, and I am going to be doing a lot of pressing, so I need to make sure that my shoulders stay nice and healthy, and I need to get some more work, a little bit more work on my rear delts after I've been doing those lateral dumbbell raises for my front delts. I want to get some work on my rear delts on the other day. So other than that, on these days, on Friday, I probably will be supersetting a lot of stuff. I don't know exactly what will be supersetted with what yet, so you'll see that when those videos start to come out. Today's Sunday, November 9th. I've actually already done a week of this program already, which has already been filmed, which will be coming out this week. So every time a video comes out, you're seeing footage from that training day the week before. So I basically filmed all of my compound movements, and not much else. So if you guys want to see the other accessory work, like the isolation work, like hamstring curls and stuff like that, comment below and I'll throw them in. But I just thought that like watching hamstring curls would be kind of boring, and watching leg press would be kind of boring, so I didn't include those. I'm going to link Johnny Candido's website with his strength training programs in the description. And like I said throughout this video, I'm going to go into more depth on certain topics when I discuss my nutrition. And that video is going to be coming out on Tuesday, and it's actually the end of my first heavy upper day. So at the end of that video, I'll go into depth in my nutrition and also the other couple of aspects in this video that make more sense to go into depth with my nutrition. Other than that, again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, anything like that, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. I try to respond to every comment, so really be sure to do that. And just if you've seen my videos before, if you're already a subscriber, thanks for coming back. If you're new, welcome aboard.